If you're a friend or a family member of an elderly person who is not mentally, physically, or emotionally strong enough to protect him or herself from harm, please step up to the plate. Help this person. You could be all that stands between that kupuna and disaster. Abuse comes in many forms: physical, verbal, sexual, and emotional. For many of us, it's a cycle that passes from one generation to another. The next tutu you're going to meet is Mona, an elder from the Hawaiian fishing village in Minoli'i on the Big Island of Hawaii. She is a victim of spousal abuse and a family plagued by drug addiction. It was Mona who stepped up and broke that cycle of abuse in her family. But it wasn't easy. She recalls her breaking point when her anger and frustration grew so great that it drove her to the edge, and the results were almost fatal.
I think verbal is just as much like physical. You know what I mean? It hurt. I got so mad that, it took people to hold me back from doing what I would have done to my husband. And I didn't know where I got all the strength. That's how mad I was. But it had nothing to do with physical. It had all to do with verbal, and it affected my mind. I didn't know at that time who I could go to, but I'm not the kind of person that goes out and, to show that, I do have a problem. Because my friend knows a lot of things, yeah? And she said, I think you need help. You need. So that's why I told her, well, show me where I can go for get the help.
Although not all abusers are drug addicts, the warning signs for those who are include dramatic weight loss, violent mood swings, staying up all night, poor hygiene, sudden change of friends, trouble with personal relationships, letting responsibilities go unattended, like not paying bills or missing work.
Initially, there's going to be the borrowing of money. That's going to be the first thing. Ma, I need to borrow $20. Then it's going to be $50. Then it's going to be $100. Then it's going to be, I can't pay my water bill. I can't pay my electric bill. We don't have any groceries. And then it's, I need a place to stay. I need to borrow your car. And then then the asking is going to stop and the demands are going to start.
Oh, he stays up all night working on the cars. Or at 2 o'clock in the morning, he's mowing the lawn. Okay, these are unusual behaviors. These are tweaking behaviors where you repetitively do things and over again.
If you don't give me money, you're not going to see your grandchildren.
Profuse sweating, red eyes, and the sleeping after being gone for 36 hours, coming home and sleeping for 72.
If you don't let me borrow your car, again, you won't see your grandchildren anymore.
Mind your own business. None of your business. Language like that.
Then it becomes emotional, and then eventually it becomes physical, in addition to financial.
The disrespect. I constantly hear, that's not my son, that's not my grandson, that's not the daughter I raised.
So it's a service that's offered all throughout the state of Hawaii, in all counties of Hawaii. We investigate in rural areas and in urban areas. There's no place we won't go if we're concerned about the safety of an elderly person. There are people who are being physically abused by family members or caretakers. There are people who are being financially exploited. People are taking their belongings. Another type of abuse that we know of is neglect.
But a lot of times those things don't get attention because the seniors don't want to call, don't want to call the police, don't want to make reports about what happened to them, or they don't want to report on their kids. I think in most situations it's the child that's taking advantage of them, writing fraudulent checks, opening up bank accounts maybe in their name, opening up credit cards in their parents' names, and or even taking their credit cards or their bank account cards. And I think it's hard for parents to turn their kids in. I think in any situation, especially when there's there's ice use around, or they feel responsible for why is it my child that's using ice.
We're not like the police who are coming in to convict somebody of a crime. If we come in and find that a person is in need of services, we may confirm abuse, but we also may be able to set up a plan that will really return the family situation back to normal.
As an attorney, I think protecting your assets is one of the biggest things that you need to do as a senior, especially if you suspect that your child is using ice or may have a drug problem. One of the things that we do is we trust our kids. I think our parents inherently trust us, and especially in our culture, we decide to give our kids rights and access to our bank accounts because we believe that, you know, we should be taking care, that our kids should be taking care of us.
We would try to determine how serious the abuse was at the moment that it's being reported. Sometimes there's just no question. We call the police and the police get there before we can even get there. So if it's an imminent safety threat, we will involve the police in assisting us.
What can happen though is you trusted your child to take care of the bank account. You gave them immediate power of attorney so that they could take care of your finances for you, and then they start using drugs and they start going into the bank and start withdrawing funds from your account. They may start opening loans under your name, saying I have a power of attorney. If these things are happening, you need to go see the attorney that assisted you with the first power of attorney and revoke or take away the power of attorney that you initially gave to that child. And when you do that, it's really important though to make sure that all of the banks and any place that this person may be using the power of attorney knows that you took away the right on the power of attorney.
Maybe you won't even be the person that calls. Maybe it'll be a friend or a neighbor or a family member who will call us, and we might come and talk with you. And we might try to just really help you see that there is no shame or embarrassment in reaching out and getting help. You've coped your whole life, but now the consequences of not doing something for your own safety are much more severe and could be much more life-threatening.